This is part 2 of my Glow Up with Grace series, where we're going to learn to grow in faith and glow with grace, and we are going to continue our Bible study into Ezra. Part 1, we ended in verse 4, so we're going to continue from there. 5 reads, "So the family heads of Judah and Benjamin." The family heads in the Old Testament are the patriarchal leaders of their extended family and clans, and they hold authority for spiritual, social, and legal matters within their households. The family heads of Judah and Benjamin, along with the priests and Levites, everyone whose spirit God had roused, prepared to go up and build the Lord's house in Jerusalem. First verses of this book, we hear that God had roused King Cyrus, and King Cyrus is given the credit for laying the foundations for the new church. But like we just saw in this verse, God also roused other people's spirits needed to rebuild this temple. So although Cyrus was given the credit, everybody was needed. So we're all important in God's house and family. All their neighbors supported them with silver, articles, gold, goods, livestock, and valuables, in addition to all that was given as a free will offering. Wording here is really important. It says free will offering. Ezra could have just said that they gave an offering, but instead he said a free will offering, which insinuates they gave more than the 10% tithe that the Bible calls us to give. And I feel like free will offerings hold a lot more weight in God's heart because they were purely given because people wanted to give them. Then King Cyrus also brought out the articles of the Lord's house that Nebuchadnezzar had taken from Jerusalem and had placed in the house of his gods. King Cyrus of Persia had them brought out under the supervision of Mithredath, the treasurer, who counted them out to Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. So let's talk about Sheshbazzar for a second. I researched him a lot, and my research was very inconclusive. There's two popular theses as to who he was. Some people say that him, along with Zerubbabel, might have been the same person, just different names, one being a Jewish name, one being a Babylonian name, while other people believe that Sheshbazzar was sent in the time of King Cyrus II to lay the foundations of the new temple, while Zerubbabel was sent later in the time of Darius and oversaw the rest of the building of the temple. Personally, I believe the latter. However, I don't have very conclusive evidence to back up that claim, so I'd leave that to your discretion. The inventory: 30 gold basins, 1,000 silver basins, 29 silver knives, 30 gold bowls, 410 various silver bowls, and 1,000 other articles. The gold and silver articles totaled 5,400. Sheshbazzar brought all of them when the exiles went up from Babylon to Jerusalem. Y'all, that is the end of chapter 1 of Ezra. I hope y'all have loved this Bible study so far. Come back next week for chapter 2. See y'all later. Bye.